Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Sarah. Today's video is a bit different than normal, more of a fun thing. I thought that doodling what I see in the clouds would be a fun challenge. So for the first cloud, I literally just saw a mushroom. My first attempt was more cartoony, but I really like how this version looks, with the cap at an angle like this. I can't say I've ever drawn mushrooms before, but now I feel like they're going to be one of those things that I doodle all the time. It's kind of wild how God made something honestly so insignificant have so many different kinds and shapes and sizes. I even saw a group of red ones with white spots in my backyard, like mushrooms from Mario. In the second little wisp of a cloud, I saw a serpent with its hood flared out. I don't know. I love this loop-de-loop of a tail though. I think it looks kinda cute as a doodle, which I honestly would not say about a real-life snake. Sorry, snake lovers. I was trying to think of what kind of design to add something else to it. These darker parts of the cloud look like stripes under the outline, so I added those. It was fun to curve the stripes and add a bit of dimension to the shape. I didn't add any to the mushroom, but for the rest of these, I added a bit of shading. That also contributed to helping it look a little more 3D. I kinda wonder how I saw anything in these clouds. This one I thought looked like a turtle. So that was pretty simple to figure out the shape of the shell and stuff. Initially, I forgot the turtle and tortoise shells have ridges, but that ended up fitting pretty well with the shape of the cloud. I love his little stubby feet and tiny tail. Figuring out how to intersect the lines for the pattern of the shell was tricky, but I just kinda went with this simple pattern. I had tried something more complicated, but I gave up. At this point for the shading, I also started to add a bit of color to it depending on the subject. So, yeah, turtle. I am obsessed with this next one. The cloud itself is pretty much just a blob, but the top of it reminded me of one of those chickens with the crazy fancy hair, so I turned this blob into a little burb of one of those. I think it turned out so floofy and goofy looking, and I love it. I kinda wanna make this into like a sticker or something. It was fun to shade too, since it's so round, and also trying to add detail to the feathers. All the doodles in this video were so different from what I usually draw. Also, for any of these, let me know what you saw in the clouds down in the comments. Okay, so this one was a bit more interesting. On the one hand, I warped the cloud to fit a bit more to what I saw. And I saw a dog running, except imagining the head. I don't know. I saw what looked like my golden retriever's floofy tail and somehow fit the rest into perspective from there. Let me just say now, I don't draw animals much. At least not as a simple doodle like this. I've drawn some realistic animals before, and here is my attempt at drawing a dog head without a reference. Yeah. So I added some of the shading to draw something else before then trying to draw the head again, this time with the reference, and that went much smoother. Also, I apologize for drawing the head away from the body like this. I guess it is a bit unsettling, but I didn't want to deal with getting it right proportionately with the body while drawing it. Now I'm trying to warp the drawing a bit more so the proportions aren't quite as off. That's the hard thing about matching drawings to clouds. Now we have this cloud. It's all pretty detached, yet another one that looking back at it, I question how I saw anything. But I saw a crab. I love these eyes. I don't know why, but they're kinda cute. Definitely more cartoony with such long stem things. I wasn't so worried about the anatomy of any kind for this one. I mean, I'm doodling a crab. I like how the little pincers look. After making the shading reddish, solely because that's what color I associate crabs with, I added little highlights to the eyes, which made them even more adorable. I thought it looked kinda weird with only 2 legs, so I squeezed in the other 4. I can't decide if that helped or if it looks wonkier, but I still think it's fun. This is the last picture, which I actually saw 2 versions of the same thing in it. One jellyfish here in this corner, and another one sideways at the top stretched out, like mid-swimming. Jellyfish are something I have recently found that I love to doodle. Drawing the squishy bell and all the tentacles flowing is so much fun, and you can be really loose with the strokes. Since jellies are translucent, sometimes I lightly draw in the top of the tentacles. I really have no rhyme or reason to the lines, I'm just making them flow. Now that I've drawn it, I feel like it kinda looks more like a squid than a jellyfish, but it still works. The shading was fun for these too, more round objects. I also tried to add a bit more detail to the tentacles like I did for the feathers earlier. I made the shading color for these be purple since some jellyfish glow under ultraviolet light. I think it's so cool that God made things in nature glow in the dark. Thank you for watching. I hope that maybe this inspired you to be creative in your own way. Jesus loves you.